Welcome back, everyone. This is Cody Hart for Government Accountability. It is Sunday, October 29th, and I wanted to make sure I update everyone on the most recent news on the recall that I am pursuing in the Skagit County Superior Court. And on Friday afternoon, I received a letter, you can see right here, from the Attorney General's office, Bob Ferguson. And I wanted to go over it briefly and explain some of what it says, as well as talk over some of the background information and information that's been shared with me by informants throughout the state. And so I'll start off with this letter, October 27th, that was Friday. And I wanted to point out the very first thing here, and that is this is from the Attorney General to the presiding judge, Brian Stiles. And those who've been following this understand that the presiding judge is Brian Stiles, as well as Judge Laura Wakwame and Judge Thomas Verge, have all been implicated with evidence showing their participation in the election misconduct and the violations that have led to me issuing this recall, at least a very significant part of it. It is my personal belief that this court is absolutely corrupt, and this reveals a lot about what the Attorney General's position of this is going to be. Even though the Attorney General knows Brian Stiles and the other judges have been implicated, they went ahead and they're going to let them run this recall hearing that's coming up. And so we have the first sign that the corruption is going to be carrying through from the state into this recall. I'm going to go ahead and read this letter to you very quickly. Dear Honorable Judge Stiles, on November 2nd, 2023, the Attorney General's Office anticipates filing a summons and petition to determine sufficiency of recall charges and to approve ballot synopsis in the above referenced case. This letter is to call your attention to this matter because state law requires it to be heard within 15 days of filing. This case involves charges by a citizen, that's me, that 3 elected county officials be recalled from office. The Attorney General is responsible for preparing the ballot synopsis and petition regarding the Skagit County Prosecuting Attorney. And Skagit County Prosecuting Attorney has appointed me as a special deputy prosecuting attorney for purposes of preparing ballot synopsis and filing a petition regarding the charges against the Skagit County Auditor and the Skagit County Sheriff. In these capacities, it is my responsibility to petition the Superior Court for a determination as to whether the charges are sufficient and for approval of ballot synopsis. A hearing by the Superior Court must be conducted on the petition within 15 days of receipt. RCW 29A.56.140. This case will be filed in the court because the officials reside in Skagit County. Also, please note that RCW 29.56.140 directs the clerk of the Superior Court to notify the person subject to recall and the person demanding recall of the hearing date. Because the statute specifically assigns this duty to the court, I will not be taking the more usual step of noting the matter for hearing. And then we go to the second page. As a courtesy, I provided the following excerpts from the Thurston County Superior Court Local Civil Rules, which sets forth briefing deadlines in recall proceedings in the court. And it goes through this, an example of something. Obviously, they're leading, the Attorney General's Office is leading the court, which I find inappropriate in its entirety. And it closes it out. While this rule is, of course, not binding in this court, it illustrates the timelines that another court has adopted. The Thurston County Superior Court has, in recent years, handled a comparatively large number of recall petitions involving state officials. Whether to adopt a similar schedule is at the court's discretion. So again, the Attorney General, their office, Carl Smith, I will point out, he is implicated in the recall evidence of wrongdoing from the Attorney General's office, has sent it to the Skagit County Superior Court Judge Brian Stiles, who is also implicated in the wrongdoing. So we have pretty much absolute confirmation that this recall is going to be rigged. I will tell you that now. That's what this all tells me. And then they close out the letter by pointing out that they sent a copy to me, to Sandra Perkins, the Skagit County Auditor, Richard Wyrich, the Skagit County Prosecuting Attorney, and Donald L. McDermott. So I have to say, my personal investigative assistance in this and a number of insiders have reached out to me in confidentiality, and they have shared, and I wanted to share with everyone else, what's at stake here as far as the Attorney General's office in the state of Washington. I am hearing that they are not going to let this thing through. They are going to do everything they can to stop it. And the reason why is the 2024 elections and the federal positions from the state of Washington. And I was a little blown back when I had this thrown at me as their primary motive. But then it was explained to me that the federal positions for the legislature, the House of Representatives, and the Senate, Patty Murray, Rick Larson, and others, is all at stake here. And then it also was pointed out to me, the obvious thing that's at stake is the key player in this whole thing is Bob Ferguson and his election and desire to become governor of the state of Washington. Now, as for those who followed along, they know that the corruption in the election system in Washington state is widespread. We know that there has been violations of state and federal law across multiple election offices up and down the west side of the state. I will point out Whatcom County, Skagit County, Pierce County, Thurston County. There's no end to the west side of this state having corruption within the election offices. I have personally identified the creation of ballots after elections are over, and I don't think anyone here is fooled by what's going on. Now, I was a little more blown away when I was reaching out and thinking about who could assist with this, and I wanted to point out something that's obvious right now to everybody. This is not a partisan issue for me. Everyone knows that. This is about getting my voting rights back and holding government accountable. But what I have been told and what I believe to be true is that once my recall was filed, the party leaders across both Republican and Democrat have been joining together with their affiliates in the media to completely black this thing out, to make sure nobody knows that this is happening and how bad it is. They know, they all know, and I have explained this in many presentations in the past. There is no way it got this bad without both sides being a part of it, and we don't know who these people really are. I have got nothing against true constitutional Democrats and Republicans. I've got nothing against great Americans who debate and debate their ideas to do what's in the best interest of Americans. But I truly do not believe the parties in this state are ran by the national party core ethics, and they are not truly who they say they are. And I think everyone knows this inside themselves. There has been a movement to undermine our country, and I believe that Washington state has been completely infiltrated. I also believe that they will reveal themselves to everybody by how they respond or how they conceal this. And so for those of you out there who naysayers, just ask. Just ask, why wouldn't the Republican Party point out the obvious corruption, that the evidence has been submitted to the court? It's all public record. They can always obtain it. They'll tell you, the first thing they always say is, oh, we don't know anything about it. And that's BS. If they don't know anything, why are they getting hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars in donations to understand what's going on in politics? So they're lying to you there. And for the Democrats who say this is partisan, is it partisan for people to want to vote? Is it partisan for corruption to be addressed? Is it partisan to remove criminals who have broken the law? I don't believe so, and I hope all of you understand. This is an attack on us. Now, I have also had it said, and I was really debating about talking about this, but I really think it's time to really get this out there. I have been warned that they will stop at nothing to stop me, and to take my personal safety very serious moving forward. And I had to really sit down and think about this because I am certain these people don't care at all about me or the Constitution or any of us. And I don't think there is anything they'll stop at to stop me. And so I'm going to ask all of you guys to understand it's getting very scary. And I have made a decision. I have prayed to God. I have spoken in my way through prayer, and I have decided through what I'm getting back and what I believe to be the right thing to do that I am not going to stop. None of them are going to stop me. And I hope all of you understand that I am only one person. I am only one person doing all of this. And all of you can help. All of you can do whatever it takes you to do. You can reach out, talk to your state legislator, talk to your federal, reach out and talk to them directly. And pray. Please pray. Because it is getting scary. The power of prayer is strong, and I'm going to ask all of you to throw prayers my way to keep me safe through this thing until it's over, and to help justice prevail. And I really hope that this doesn't end up in the way that it could. But I guarantee you this: I am not going to stop. They will never get me to stop. So that is my update today for everyone. I will update you as soon as possible. The November 2nd is another milestone date. So on that date or shortly after, unless something new pops up between now and then, I will update you as soon as I can on the next step on this process. Thank you.